Well, when Majid Nawaz was leading all this crazy caliphate bullshit, guess who was his friend? Sadiq Khan.
Tommy Robinson faces backlash after challenging Sadiq Khan. What happened next will shock you. You're not going to believe what just unfolded. A heated exchange, a controversial video, and a political firestorm that's got London talking and the internet split right down the middle. While most people were scrolling through their feeds, a confrontation between Tommy Robinson and London Mayor Sadiq Khan started spreading like wildfire. And no matter where you stand politically, what happened next is the kind of thing that makes you question just how open political debate really is in this country. Let's break it down. It started when Robinson posted a video online sharply criticizing Khan's handling of certain city policies. The clip wasn't just opinion, it was peppered with claims about mismanagement, rising costs, and what Robinson sees as political double standards. Now, political back and forth is nothing new. But here's where it turned into a spectacle. Within hours, the video was flagged on multiple platforms. Some versions were taken down, others demonetized, and Robinson's supporters claimed this was proof that powerful voices were trying to mute him. Khan's office, for their part, quickly responded not directly to Robinson, but through official channels saying the mayor had nothing to do with social media moderation decisions. Still, in the eyes of Robinson's base, the timing was just too convenient. And that's the fuel that lit the fire. By the next morning, hashtags like #LetHimSpeak and #KhanResponse were trending. People on both sides of the debate jumped in, some saying Robinson was being unfairly silenced, others arguing that his content crossed the line into harmful rhetoric and platform rules applied to everyone. One tweet read, "If they can take down his video today, what's stopping them from taking down yours tomorrow?" Another, just as viral but from the opposite camp, said, "Freedom of speech doesn't mean freedom from consequences." Politically, the clash couldn't have come at a more sensitive time. Khan is navigating a tightrope, defending his administration's record on transport, housing, and crime, all while fending off critics who say his leadership has become disconnected from everyday Londoners. Robinson, on the other hand, thrives in moments like this. For his audience, a takedown notice isn't a setback, it's ammunition. It feeds into his long-running narrative that the establishment is working overtime to shut him down. And whether you agree or disagree with him, you can't deny it's a narrative that gets attention. Insiders in London's political scene say the mayor's team is frustrated. One Labour councillor reportedly told a local paper, "The problem is, the more you respond to him, the bigger his platform gets. But if you ignore him, his supporters say you're hiding." It's a lose-lose situation for the mayor's office and a win-win for Robinson in the court of public opinion, because every new headline keeps him in the spotlight. This whole incident is part of a bigger, global conversation about free speech, online platforms, and political accountability. In the age of social media, a single post can reach millions in hours, but it can also be deleted just as quickly, leaving behind a trail of suspicion. Political analysts are pointing out that this fight isn't really about one man or one mayor, it's about the growing belief that tech companies, political figures, and media outlets have an outsized influence over what the public sees, and what it doesn't. Dr. Hannah Fletcher, a media studies professor, told a BBC radio show, "People don't just want free speech, they want visible speech. If something disappears from their feed, even for legitimate moderation reasons, it feels like censorship. That perception alone can inflame divisions." And inflamed they are. Street interviews in central London revealed just how polarized the public is. One passerby said, "I'm not a fan of Tommy Robinson, but if they're pulling his content for criticizing the mayor, that's worrying." Another countered, "Look, words have impact. If your content stirs hate or targets groups unfairly, platforms have a duty to step in." Neither side seems willing to budge, and that's exactly why this story isn't going away anytime soon. So, what's next? Robinson has already promised more videos, claiming he won't be bullied into silence. His supporters are rallying behind him, sharing his content across alternative platforms that pride themselves on minimal moderation. Khan's team, meanwhile, is focusing on policy wins, unveiling new housing projects and transport upgrades, clearly trying to shift the conversation away from the online drama and back onto the mayor's record. But here's the reality. In the age of 24/7 digital politics, moments like this don't fade quietly. They linger. They get replayed, reinterpreted, and reframed, until they become part of a much larger political narrative. And that's why this clash matters. Because whether you see it as a fight for free speech or a battle against harmful rhetoric, it forces us to ask uncomfortable questions about who gets to speak, who gets to decide, and whether the public will ever see the full, unfiltered conversation. London is talking tonight. The comments are flying. The camps are entrenched. If this is just one incident in the open, how much of this tug-of-war over speech is happening behind the scenes, where none of us can see? Leave your thoughts in the comments below and don't forget to like, subscribe for more political updates.